What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So yesterday, after I uploaded that video, I streamed for about 7 hours, and the whole stream was just me testing sprint speeds and strafe speeds for all the different Modern Warfare and Cold War weapons. Because in the past, Modern Warfare didn't have a multiplier for sprint speed, it was always just a multiple of your movement speed. I didn't have the sprint speed for the guns, so I had to go test that for the Modern Warfare guns. And then also get the unique sprint speeds for all the Cold War guns as well. And then also strafe speed is the same exact story, where in Modern Warfare we didn't have a multiplier for strafe speed, but now with Cold War guns we do. So I had to get all of the numbers for that as well. I'm hoping to get those on the website very soon here in the next, I don't know, next week or so. Because right now they're not on there, and it kind of makes certain attachments like the SVOD speed grip, for example, just looks like it hurts your movement, but really it does help your sprint speed. But we're gonna have that on the site soon now that we have all the base stats. But anyway, as I was doing that, it got me thinking, what is the fastest way to move in this game, and like what the weapon would be, and just a general comparison of the fastest movement speeds in the game. So that's what I'm going to be going over today, what the fastest movement speeds are, and also what the slowest movement speed is, because that's also funny, and compare it to melee weapons and everything. So jump into it here, and I'll show you what I found. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly go over these movement speeds. The fastest way you can move in the game is the MAC-10 or the Milano, using a sprint build that I'm going to show you in a minute. They have the exact same movement speed, same sprint speed, and they're the fastest in the game. They're even faster than running with just your fists out. So you can see 7.52 meters per second for the MAC-10 and Milano, and then fists are the next fastest at 7.5. And then Diamatti with Tiger Team flashlight is next at 7.32. And then the Cold War 1911 is the next fastest. Then the Modern Warfare X16, and then actually Cali Sticks is all the way down here at 6.88. I believe Cali Sticks are the fastest melee weapon, so that's interesting to note that fists are much quicker than Cali Sticks even. I don't think this used to be the case. I think fists used to be slower than even some pistols, according to Ace's video on movement speed from a long time ago. That was before I was even testing stats. But now it's been changed apparently, at least in Warzone. I tested all of this in Warzone specifically because I wanted to make sure it was Warzone numbers. So these are all speeds from Warzone. So Cali Sticks are followed by M19s, followed by Combat Knife, and then you see a lot of good players swap to Airstrike or Cluster Strike to run faster in certain situations. And turns out the movement speed, the sprint speed is only 6.6. With precision and clustering. That's still pretty fast. I mean, that's close to making this like top 10 list, so it's still a good option if you have two main weapons. Then switching to this probably will be faster, but it just interesting to note, it's always gonna be faster to drop something and move to fists if you need to move really fast. And then the funny thing down here at the bottom, if you build the MAC-10 for movement speed, not sprint speed, so the top build here is sprint speed. If you build the MAC-10 for movement speed, you can get 5.33 movement speed without sprinting. So that's a not sprinting number. And then if you build the slowest gun in the game, which is the PKM, with certain attachments, you can get down to 5.2 meters per second sprinting. So you can move faster with a MAC-10 with a movement build than you can with a PKM sprinting, which is just hilarious to me. But let's jump into the actual builds, and then I'll show you guys what these movement speeds look like in game. Alright, so the MAC-10 or Milano build, obviously you're going to want to use MAC-10 because MAC-10 is about 1,000 times better than the Milano. I tried to make this as practical as possible while still getting it the fastest movement speed. So Patrol Grip is the sprinting movement speed attachment. This gives you significantly more sprint speed. And then also Tiger Team Spotlight gives you the most movement speed, gives you more movement speed than the mounted flashlight. And movement speed, I think I covered this in my my movement speed underbarrels video from about a week ago. But when you increase movement speed by a certain percentage, that also increases your sprint speed. But vice versa is not true. So if you increase your sprint speed, it only does sprint speed. So when you have an increase in movement speed, this is also going to help your sprint speed by a good amount. And then Raider Stock's just my favorite stock for the MAC-10, and it also does help your firing movement speed. Sprint fire time is really, really important and gives the MAC-10 an edge over assault rifles. So having great sprint fire time from the Raider stock, and it doesn't actually help your sprint speed, but it just makes the gun better, so I put that on there. And then, of course, agency suppressor as well for the same reason. Doesn't help movement speed at all, just makes the gun better. Something you could do also would be task force barrel. This doesn't increase your movement speed, but it does increase your strafe speed. So you'd swap out the flashlight for the strafe speed barrel, the task force barrel. I'd give you a little more range, a little more bullet velocity, slow you down a little bit compared to the Tiger Team Spotlight, but also you wouldn't have a flashlight shining at your enemy, which kind of gives away your position, especially if you're trying to be a sweaty rose skin and you don't want people to see you. If you have a giant flashlight on your gun, it's gonna kind of give away where you are. And then always the 53 round drum. Just the last mag has too much ADS penalty, so we just use the 53 round drum. But yeah, this is the fastest way to move in the entire game. Faster than every other thing. So faster than just fists, faster than all the melee weapons, faster than kill streaks. This is the fastest way to move. And then just for fun, this is the slowest way to move in the game when sprinting. So excluding, I think, the minigun that you could get from the bunkers before, that was really slow. This is the slowest gun you can build in the game, as far as I'm aware. So extended barrel, this slows you down, slows your movement speed down. Snatch grip has a very significant reduction in movement speed. 200 round belt has a huge reduction in your movement speed. And this is the build I use for that 5.19 meters per second sprint speed. All right, just a real quick comparison of what the fastest movement speed in the game looks like compared to the slowest. So this is the MAC-10 with the fastest movement speed in the game. Just ridiculously fast sprint speed. Just absolutely fly around the map. And then you switch to the PKM, and it's like you're running through mud. This is sprinting. It's so slow. It's hilarious. Back to the MAC-10. Boom. Take off. Afterburners. But I just wanted to give a visual example of what this looks like. It's super fast. All right, well, that's really all I wanted to cover. Super short video, but I thought it was interesting. Did a lot of work behind the scenes yesterday, obviously. And then right after this video, I'm probably going to hop on stream, play a little bit. But I thought it was interesting, so I wanted to get it out there. MAC-10, fastest way to move in the game. Put double time on there. You can move even faster. You get double the duration of your tac sprint. I think this would be a really fun build to run, actually, because you just fly around the map and just, you know, jump shots around corners and stuff. You'd be so hard to hit. Bunny hops around corners would be so hard to hit. It's pretty cool. Pretty fun build. But as always, if you guys like the content, consider dropping a like, comment, sub. Appreciate you guys as always, and I will see you in the next video.